Danny, Altrincham at home after an extended break. What's your thoughts ahead of the game?
Yeah, it's been obviously frustrating because we want to play games, and we've obviously missed two through COVID, which has not been good because obviously wasn't a precautionary thing. We actually had players test positive, so we've all had to isolate. So I think when you have a break sometimes, but you can still be in training, it's not the worst thing in the world because you can recover players, you can get people doing what you want them to do, and you can work on stuff. The fact that we've not been able to get in has made it difficult. So we've been in good form. So hopefully we can pick that up quite quickly against what is a good side. We've watched them quite a bit. They play some great football, and obviously they're in the top half of the table for a reason.
In a small period without football, does that change the preparation for the game with the hectic fixture schedule?
Yeah, and I mean hectic is probably the only word you can use for it. With the rearranged fixtures that have obviously been published now, we're pretty much Saturday, Tuesday for quite a long period of time, and obviously that starts. So I mean, look, the break could have been a blessing in disguise to give them a nice little almost mid-season break before we go into that last slog. But look, I think the preparations have been a combination of the two this week. Once we've gone back in the building, is a little bit of sharpness work to try and get some miles in those legs, but also with the conscious point of we have got Altrincham Saturday, so we have got to learn what we need to do to set up against them. So yeah, it's not been great. It's not been the best preparations in the sense of time, but we've done the best what we could with what we had.
And speaking of what we have, what is the latest in terms of the players available?
Probably easier to tell you who's available. That's probably the easier thing. We've got quite a few out. We've got, I think, 7 or 8 out who are not available for Saturday. So I don't want to give obviously too much away because there's a couple we haven't made decisions on yet. So, but yeah, we're going to be missing quite a few bodies on Saturday, unfortunately. But listen, it is what it is, and we have to roll our sleeves up and get on with it. Plus, you know what? Like, we've got a squad for a reason, and we trust the players, and we believe that given the opportunity they can all prove their worth. So it's a great opportunity for them to go out and make some of them make their debuts.
You know, that is the thing, isn't it? With the big squad we have, you know, it's important that the ones who maybe wouldn't have started step up and take the chance.
And that's the part of it about being a professional football player, and it frustrates me at times when it's almost like, and this is at all levels, by the way, you kind of get a group of players that sometimes haven't been in the starting lineup, and they almost get into the mindset of being squad players, and it's like, well, no. One thing we know this season, with the amount of players we've had to use, you're going to get an opportunity, and when you get that opportunity, you've got to be ready, because that's your job. And football's a great thing to be involved with. It's a great sport. It's got everything that everyone ever dreamed of as a kid. They want to be a footballer, but it's still a job. You've still got standards to reach. You've still got work to do, and you have to be ready when called upon. And touch wood, so far this season, all of our players have done that. So, and there'll be a chance for a couple on Saturday to again prove their worth and show us what they're capable of doing. And with their work ethic in training, I have no worries about it.
You mentioned our good recent form in the league as well, obviously with the disappointing FA Trophy result, but maybe that's a bit of an incentive to go out there and put performance on Saturday.
Yeah, look, I think for the first time this season, you actually look at the league table now, we're the team with quite a few games in hand, and that's a little bit of a double-edged sword at times, because as a manager you'd probably rather have the points on the board and have to worry about catching up, but the circumstances are that we have got games in hand on teams, and you know what, the priority this season was to make sure that the club is a National League team for the next season. That's the priority. That doesn't change. But you know what? Have a go. The shackles are off a little bit. Let's have a little run and see what comes to the end of it. I mean, we're not going to make any predictions or any forecasts on what we expect to happen. But what we can say is this team are capable, as proven many times this season, that we're good as match as anybody in this league. It's that little consistency that we keep talking about, which we're working on and we're trying to improve, and you don't know what can happen. So let's get to the end of March, see how we go, and you never know, we could be in a position where you think, okay, we're looking up rather than down.
It shows how quick the games come around, because we've gone from being one of the teams who've played the most in the league to now one of the teams who have got a few games in hand.
Yeah, well look, I mean, we play Altrincham Saturday, we've got 4 games in hand on Altrincham. I don't think anyone's got as many games in hand as the Dover have, but yeah, I think that we have got games in hand now. So but they don't mean anything. Because you can have 10 games in hand. If you lose all 10 games, it's irrelevant. We've got to make sure that we're focused, we're on it. And in my opinion, we've got 20 mini cup finals. Go and try and win every game. Let's not think about nicking a point here. We're going to go and try and win every game, and see where that takes us.
And looking at Altrincham, like we always seem to say about the teams we've played before, there's a completely new side there. A load of new signings made from them. The last time we played them, 2-1 away.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, in this league that so many clubs have spoke about, and Altrincham are not one of these to be fair, but lots of clubs have spoke about financial difficulties, but all seem to be signing players still. It's crazy, and I was really impressed with Altrincham when we beat them up there, and I'll be honest, I said at the time, I think that people will realise what a great result that was, because they then went on a run, and I think they ended up in 4th position at some point. One of the better footballing teams in the league. So, I mean, that's a credit to our boys to go and take 3 points up there. But obviously, our job on Saturday is to make sure that they don't reverse the result.
It's exactly that. You said at the time it was a result that a lot of people would, not maybe think too much of, but it was a great result up there given the situation, the performance, and the situation of the game as well.
Yeah, and I think from our perspective, you're playing away from home against a team that's good on the ball. They dominate possession. They're effective with what they do. You go up there, those are the games you probably think, do you know what, let's get a point today, let's make sure we don't get beat. Well, listen, we went and took all 3. And as I said, that almost triggered them. I think they then won 4 or 5 in a row. And look, we've got to make sure when they come here on Saturday that we're at our best, and not necessarily always performance-wise, but in the sense of our work rate and stuff. So we're at our best to make sure we nullify what they bring, and probably try and create a few problems of our own.
And new to the league this season as well, a bit of a dark horse as well.
Yeah, there's so little between, especially I think, without being disrespectful to the south, I think the teams that come out of the north seem to adapt to this level of football a lot quicker. And you look at when Hereford came here in the trophy, I thought they were brilliant on the day, and granted, I think we flattered them a bit because I don't think we performed to our level, but I thought they were brilliant. And I look at them and I think, wow, you could comfortably see them playing in our league. So yeah, they're a bit of a dark horse, but you know that the teams that are coming out of that area are going to be difficult to handle.
And you mentioned the teams who maybe go up there and look for a point. One of those teams was Hartlepool, their last game, 1-1.
Yeah, I think obviously when your opposition go down to 10 men, you want to push and get the 3 points. But Hartlepool have been in great form and one of the favourites to get promoted this season. So yeah, they had to dig in, and they dug in for a long period of time, to be fair. And fair play to them, they even scored when they were down to 10 men. So it was a tough game for both teams. But look, I think the bottom line is you go in. Any points gained in this league against any opposition are good. You can never look at a game and think, oh, that was 2 points dropped. I mean, listen, if you're 5-0 up with 10 minutes to go and you concede 5 goals and draw the game, maybe. But generally, anyone you play in this league, if you don't get beat, then you've done a job. And I think on Saturday when we play against Altrincham, our thought process is not only do we not want to lose, we 100% going to go all out to win the game.
Are you in with a shot? More information below. Click here for the next video, click here to subscribe.